Hello everyone, this is April Fontana, the Oracle Healer, and I wanted to make an audio to explain my services better and some other things. I get asked a lot of questions, and I think it's just because my method is so different. Some people just don't understand it fully. I've been interviewed about it, but not able to go into extreme detail, and that's what this is all about. So a full healing, for example, that's my most popular package. The reason I call it a full healing is because it covers anything you can think of. And this is how I go about it. Because I also get questions like, can you do this or can you do that? And the answer is always yes. You know, if the person's energy allows it, if your energy is going to allow healing, then I can do it. I'm just a tool, and the person has to not have any blocks, so I'm also removing that. But let's start from the beginning. When I first go into somebody's energy, I clean out the aura. If somebody's an empath, they're going to have a lot of stuff on that aura. Has to come off. The aura is to protect you. And empaths will feel everybody's emotions and pains, and it just all sticks there. The second thing I do, if requested, is I cut cords. Some are small. Cords are emotional attachments to people. Some are really serious cords. I do all that. And then, if you're having a block, which 9 out of 10 of my clients are having some type of emotional block, I see the parallel lives that are affecting you in a negative way. And so what I do, only as requested with this also, is I make those lifetimes dormant. I'll give you an example. Say somebody was in the war and they have this part about them where they just don't feel like worthy, or they have a self-love issue, something going on. If I go into the parallel life, or I don't go into extreme detail about it because I'm doing so much with the full healing, it's because they're feeling, you know, that they killed people or whatever. Things like that. It could be anything. It could be that you were crucified, you could have been a slave, or just anything like that. I see that kind of thing. So when we get to this point, I go into the chakras. I actually go into the liver first. The liver holds the most amount of the emotions. So I flush out the liver. Now, anytime I flush out an organ or anything like that, you're not going to feel a detox effect, like you're not going to get tired the next day or something. The reason is because I'm taking what I'm pulling out with me. So it's not running through your system. But right now we're talking about emotions, not the actual liver. Just the emotions that are stuck in the liver. So because there's layers of things going on. So I flush out the liver first. This is the way my guides tell me to do it. Then, the reason that my chakra clearing is so different is because it's multidimensional. And what I mean by that is, some people have an issue with, like, let's say the solar plex. They get their solar plex cleared, or they're constantly working on the solar plex, and it's never right. When I go into people's chakras, sometimes I go multidimensional, so it could be where it's like I end up in a tunnel while I'm doing it, while I'm cleaning it out, and the parallel lives are flashing on the left and on the right, so it's going way back. And a lot of times it's going way back to when you began. So that's what I mean by multidimensional clearing. Then I can open it. And I'm sure you've heard me say, everything I do is intense. That also makes my method work. So after I do the chakras, then I go into the adrenal glands. I clean out any adrenal fatigue. Then I balance the thyroid. Then I make your water in your body work level. Okay? A lot of times I go in and the water is more to the right or to the left. It's not flowing properly, and it needs to be flowing properly and get in all your organs correctly. I balance out the minerals, so the minerals are all working. That's a very big one. There's about 84 minerals, and most of the time when I go in, there's only about, 73 or less working properly. So I balance them all out so they're all working properly, because if one mineral is off, they all work together. So not all of them, but like if one mineral is off, it's going to bounce off of another mineral and make that one not work either. Then I balance all the vitamins to work 100% in your body. I'm sure you've heard people say, I take B12 and it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't do anything. They don't know why, it doesn't do anything. Or they're taking magnesium, it's not helping their muscles. This is the reason. So I clear everything out. Again, I do the aura, get all the stuff that doesn't need to be around, like the cords, and make the lives dormant. Then pull all the stuff out of the chakras, then open them, then balance them. Then I ground the person. After I do the adrenals and the thyroid, when you have any kind of adrenal fatigue, it usually does throw the thyroid off. And if that's off, because hormones come out of those areas, your hormones are off. So I also balance your hormones. Very important. If your hormones are off, everything's off. I reverse any environmental allergies. Mostly everybody has them, whether they're sneezing or they're not. They might get headaches, sinus headaches, whatever, asthma, whatever it is. There's allergies going on. You could be allergic to your carpet, or you could be allergic to something in your room and you don't even know it. I reverse all that. Autoimmune. You hear it all the time. People that are autoimmune, the doctors say that they can't make it because nothing they give them can work. Their body can't fight it. What is autoimmune? Autoimmune is when you're allergic to your own body fluids. It's a very simple fix. I just reverse the allergy. So after I do all that, then I usually go into and adjust the neck area, loosen up the muscles around the neck, around the back, adjust the back, knees, just whatever I see that needs to be adjusted. After all that's done, usually people will give me a list of why they're coming to me. They broke their back. They shattered their knee. They have diabetes. Whatever it is, then I'll go into that. If they have diabetes, I go into their pancreas and make their pancreas work. If their back is broken, I fix their vertebrae. And I know what I'm doing is new out there. But I have hundreds of testimonials about this, but I know I have had a couple people come to me and say, there's no way you fix somebody's broken back in 20 minutes or whatever, and I did. And I want everyone to learn how to do this. That's the whole point of it. That's why I'm here. So that's what a full healing is. So whatever it is, say somebody's having seizures, I also go into the brain. The receptors might not be working right. Somebody might be suicidal, depressed, anxious, stressed. They just can't seem to get on their feet. They can't seem to get enough self-love. Emotional blocks. It doesn't matter what it is, that it's going to be in the full healing. Now that took longer than I thought. Sorry about that. Okay. What is a tune-up? I have tune-up packages. What tune-ups are is this. Once you do a full healing, or at the same time, you can buy a tune-up package. A tune-up is a very quick session. Let's say you fell down the stairs. You broke your ankle. You leave me a message. I want to use one of my tune-ups. I just broke my ankle. I go in there. I fix the ankle. That's a tune-up. You woke up with a stiff neck. I fix your neck. That's a tune-up. I just don't feel good today. Or something's wrong with my cat. I want to use a tune-up on my cat, my dog, my child. Those are tune-ups. That's why they're so great. I have packages of 5, 10, and 30. And they never expire. Or somebody might have a serious disease like cancer. With cancer, I need to keep the mood up. I open the chakras and the person closes them. Not on purpose. The subconscious is doing that. So I keep going in every day. Those are for serious illnesses. They usually will get a 30-day, and I work on them every single day for 30 days. The only other thing on my site is the chakra package. But that I really explained. Anything I said about chakras, that's what that's for. Okay. Now these are the questions. I'm going to really try and answer this the best that I can. It's kind of hard to explain the way that I see. But people are asking me, how do you see that? How do you know what to do? Things like that. So I really want to get into that. Okay, how do I see things? When I go into your energy, there's a million things going on. I see your energy in front of me. It's not like, it depends what I'm ready for. If in my mind I'm saying I'm going to clear out the aura right now, then I'm going to see an aura. If I'm ready to go into detail, then I'm going to see you differently. I basically, let's see, a person looks more like a hologram to me. That's why I'm able to reach through, like say somebody has clogged arteries or somebody's just about to have a heart attack. I stick my hand right in their heart. I don't have to feel around. I see it. I'm looking right at it and I can see the problem. Example, somebody's having a heart attack. It could be the brain doing that. So when I'm looking at the heart, I'll see like a line going to the brain. And I know I need to go in the brain and fix something there. That's when I use my hands. One hand's in the brain, one hand's in the heart at the same time. I'm also doing things with my mind at the same time. There's a lot going on. So I think the word hologram is good. I think people can understand that. So when I'm ready to see organs and things like that, I'm actually seeing them in cartoon, sort of. I'm not seeing it like an actual, like, liver I wouldn't be able to handle that. I wouldn't be able to handle seeing it like that. Like I see people's blood flowing, and say somebody says something like, I can't feel my leg. There's something wrong with the circulation. My focus goes on the leg. I'm looking up and down the leg. I see the oxygen isn't flowing, and I'm just looking up higher than the leg, and I can see why. Maybe the vitamins aren't getting in that area. I push them over into the leg. I just simply push them over into the leg with my hand. And I'm watching it, and I see the legs changing. Like if the leg's swollen or the leg has no feeling, it'll look dull to me. And once the oxygen and the blood's flowing correctly, it'll become bright. So that's kind of how I see things. I forgot to mention the full healing that I can tell you what you're allergic to as far as foods. And I also fill you up with vitamins and tell you what you're deficient in vitamins. How I fill somebody up with vitamins, I get asked a lot. The bottom line is, if I say I want to put 8 vials of minerals in your body, my hands become the minerals, and I swipe it through. And I can tell by how fast it goes in. Like usually when I do the vitamins and minerals and things, I make the energy like a big kitchen sponge. And when I'm pouring this stuff through, if it seeps in really fast, that's how I know it's deficient. And then I'm a medium, so somebody might show up on my left. So, you know, and just there's like 7 different dimensions going on while I'm working. So that's how I'm doing it. I see it. I'm seeing everything, and I can clearly see when I'm looking at an issue, like if I get an emergency call, which everybody knows I get them all night, you know, like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I get, oh my God, I can't breathe. I just look at their chest, and my eyes just they basically go to. It's not like I really have to look around. It's like I'm feeling it at the same time, and my eyes just go to, what's the problem? Why can't the person breathe? I might see an allergy. I might see an emotion stuck in their lungs. Maybe it was their mother's birthday yesterday and she died of lung cancer. It could be anything imaginable. Okay. So that's how I do it and how I physically see. The next question I get is, where does the knowledge come from? Well, some of you have heard the story about that I ended up in Source. Now, we're all connected with Source. Everybody's connected with Source, and everybody can do what I'm doing, too. But when I went to Source, it was like being thrown in the center of the universe. I was actually walking around in there, looking around at the gold spinning around me, and feeling what it was all about. It was like I was not on the earth. It was way different than like astro. And what happened is, I've been a healer many, many, many times. I've been a scientist. I've been a neurosurgeon. That's how I'm able to go into people's brains and correct bipolar. Or something like that. I've been a famous psychic healer, actually, my previous life. I wasn't done with my mission, and that's why I'm doing it again. But, so basically I got the knowledge from my previous lives, and then whatever knowledge I didn't have, I have my guides, and I'm so tapped into the universe You know, the universe is a conscious, so, you know, I just speak with the universe. You can ask the universe anything and just get an answer. It's not like somebody's standing next to you answering you like, you know, like talking to a friend. I mean, sort of, but not exactly. But the thing is that there's no limitations, and I keep saying that. But if you just open your mind to, what if there's not? That's why my healing method gets immediate results. Do you know why? The answer is really simple. Because that's the way I want it to be. I don't want the person to wait. I go in there and I make it immediate. I also, somebody's subconscious will be talking to me while I'm healing them. If there's an extreme emotional block that's not coming out through the chakras, I'll talk to somebody's higher self. I'll get the higher self to talk to the subconscious. And then, you know, we go around and around and around in there for a little bit. And then I get the subconscious to talk to the conscious. It's way easier than being on the phone with somebody and I'm saying, this is why you're doing this. No, I'm not. I just bypass all that. The reason I got to this point of doing healings so quickly is because I got flooded with business. And I have to help everybody that's coming to me. So my guides gave me a lot of shortcuts. I have a ton of shortcuts that I didn't have even a year ago or 2 years ago. Okay. I thought this was going to be like 10 minutes. Right. Okay. Why am I doing this? Well, number one, I'm doing it because I love helping people. And I have a passion for people, animals. I'm also an animal communicator. I communicate with anything. It doesn't matter. It could be a tree. Yes, they talk. A lot of people heard this story. You know, I had 5 people pass away in 6 months, including my parents. And I saw, I'll give you an example. My mom got lung cancer. She had COPD. And she got her lungs x-rayed every single month. And they didn't see it. And when I asked the doctor, why didn't he see it, and now my mother's just dying? Like, she had back pain and 2 days later she's dying? He said, well, she has small cell cancer. And I said, you know, at the time I didn't know what any of that was. I said, so what's that? He goes, it's so small, you can't see it. I said, not even on an x-ray? He goes, no, you would need a magnifying glass. And I said, then why didn't you use one? And he just like, looked at me like, you should have seen the look on his face. So my eyes are like way stronger than a magnifying glass. Also, what I said about the universe, talking to the universe, I also talk to your cells in your body. Like say somebody has cancer. I'll look around and find the first cell that became cancerous and have this conversation with the cell. So I have a lot of drive behind me because I've seen so many people die and they didn't have to. I know people go when they're supposed to go, but I still saw what the medical field just was about. And I know sometimes you gotta go. I'm not saying I don't like doctors or whatever. I'm just saying, come on, it's time for like a new way of thinking, you know? So that's why I'm doing it. Plus I'm an empath and I feel people's pain. the last question. I'm sorry this is so long, guys. What's my mission? My mission is to change the medical field. My mission is for all of you to know, to be able to do exactly what I'm doing. And I don't believe there's one person out there that cannot do what I'm doing. This isn't just for me or for some, or, clairvoyance are for some and not for others. That's not true. I see it. I've heard people say, well, I'm not clairvoyant. Oh, really? Well, you got a block in your third eye because you saw spirits when you were a kid and pop it right out. Oh, I'm a clairvoyant. so I'm just saying, I want everyone to, they got to experience it first. Then they got to, once they experience it, then of course they believe it because, you got a broken back the next day you're at the gym or whatever. But just think, if everybody could just really heal themselves from anything, wouldn't that be amazing? That's what I'm here to do. I'm going to be creating a different type of site too, and teaching and things like that. So that's everything. Let's see how long this was. No way. 27 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry it was so long, but hope you didn't get bored or anything, but I just feel like I needed to address these questions, and I think that everybody can understand what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. Some people are coming to me and thinking, I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't. I get called all kinds of stuff like, am I an alien? Or no, I'm just a person. I'm just a person that's not afraid to look. That's what I am. I'm not afraid to look. Why am I not afraid? Because if I'm afraid, I can't help you. And I won't allow that. So, I love you all, and hope you liked some of this information. And of course, well, I'm at the end now, so it's kind of too late, but the main objective was, to explain my services, just with my voice, because I do better that way. It doesn't matter how I type it. It's not going to make sense like it is with me speaking it. So, again, I love you all, and I wish you all the best life you can ever imagine, because if you can imagine it, it's real. Don't forget that.